How we doing? We are going to have another little video here about Kingdom 533. Kingdom 533. It's a new kingdom. We're learning the new rules and the new ways because they don't tell us what's going on over there. They don't tell us how we plan on getting from A to B. We discover, we learn, we teach, we fix. We got our first honor event in Kingdom 533. We have done a great job of killing the trolls, man. We went in there with a full goal to sit back. We spent about 10 days watching the community fold out in its typical usual fashion, which everybody will tell you that's how that works. This is how it always, quote unquote, air quotes up in the air, always works, folks. Always. Because always happens because someone always says. It's lazy. They're trying to tell you not to think. And as you've followed me for years, you know I don't go after that approach of it. I'm not for what you think you know. It's what we see and how we react to it. So I'm looking over at Juggernaut. I know he's over in 533. Everybody started telling me, and I was like, good. I want more influencers and YouTubers around there. And I went over and watched it. That's what I got up on the screen now is his channel. Hold on. Let me get where I can see his channel. Let's put his channel up on the... See, oops. I'll blow it up a little bit. There we go. So you can see his channel. I'll put an @ link in the title maybe. I don't know if he has a custom URL for an @ link or not. I'll find out. Either way, I'll get a link in there of some kind. You know, he needs more subscribers, guys. He's got to get above that 1,000 number and get his watch hours up. It's a hard challenge. It's not instant gratification. He's cranking out the videos. I see him doing the 5-minute style that all the vocal people on YouTube say they won't watch anything over 5 minutes. And I can say from doing this for years, there's a reason they're talking on YouTube and not making YouTube. They don't know what they're talking about. So videos are as long as they need to be in order to get the point across. That's just the way it is. Or they're as long until I get tired of recording. So we're going to talk about recruitment. Now, he went in through and started looking up in here and pointed out, hey, there's Rogers Raiders, you know, that our research is done real quick. We're up there. But I have 16 former kings in my alliance. That means at least 16 of my members know how important it is to do everything you need to do twice a day. Some of the other things we've done in the K533, we've got a never played before a day in my life alliance. Okay. One of my R4s is running that. You will see her, and I don't think she's on that list that day. And then we've got some R4s that are blending in with the other alliances to where we're actively going in and training that alliance to do what you see us doing. This may be competition, but all these other alliances you see here, we need them. We want them. Okay? We're not trying to beat somebody else to say we beat them. There's these in-kingdom lists that say who the leaders are. The number 1 in kills, the number 1 in power, the number 1 power in alliance. Those lists don't mean squat. The other thing that we've been seeing is don't go to here. I'm not promoting your stuff. I'm not giving you money by going to a channel and learning something. I've been trying to pull other influencers in here. The adamant leftist thinking that no education will benefit anybody, just listen to me. I cannot believe this ignorant shithead thought process exists, but it is prevalent in anybody under 30. It seems like they want to be as ignorant as they can and to do as little for whatever comes out of their mouth to not be challenged. Facts be damned. It is about not being challenged. The key word we've seen lately is no respect for me. my right to be heard. You have a right to listen. You have a right to speak. You do not have the right to be agreed with. And transposing the word heard with agreed with, not the same thing. Kingdom 533, we've taken on an epic challenge as a group to build what I'm going to deem going to be one of the biggest communities we've ever put together. We've taken stair steps where I first went through the first videos years ago and we said, hey, this is what I'm learning as I'm learning it. You guys went along with the journey with me. And then we waited 6 months and I went, this kingdom looks to be different. The game's changed. They changed the software patch update 2018. And I tried to get the leaders of that kingdom to, once I got screenshots from the committee in 312 to the asinine behavior of a few people in that kingdom that were not going to do anything but beat on people. The minute they got any power, they were going to abuse it in any way. If they only had verbal power, they abused that. If they had physical power, they abused that. Abuse of power is abuse of power. Right now, I went out of my comfort zone in Kingdom 533, and I stepped up and just started stepping on people right off the get-go. From what I saw was, over the years, I've just seen this same scenario play out over and over and over and over again. And I took the approach that I wasn't going to deal with the YouTube trolls no more. I'm going to make every dollar a YouTube troll puts into a kingdom the worst dollar they ever spent in their life. I'm not going to put them on film. I'm not going to acknowledge them. They're not going to get to be famous. All they're going to get to do is blow that money and annoy somebody in KC chat. And what's funny is, it won't be me that burns them to the ground. So they won't even get that satisfaction if they're looking for me to be the one doing it. I am denying them everything that a school shooter wants. Attention. They're not going to get any. What they're going to get is isolated and cut from the herd. And that gets us into our herd topic here. One of the other things that we're going to try and overcome is tribalism. Okay? We know that we want to be playing KVK, UACs, things like that. And we've got thousands of people who have never played the game before that weren't given a chance to even learn where the buttons in their castle were before some idiot who knew everything about the game came from an older kingdom thinking he's stealing RSS or getting to the top of the kill list, and that's going to help him build an alliance that'll give him free stuff. It's the oldest con in this game. We have shut the two players that were doing that, we shut them down. The alliance levels that were doing that, well, if you're watching Juggernaut's videos here, you'll see us combating the Russians in chat. That's because the Russians were threatened first and demand an apology for having threatened us. And what they didn't count on was when they threatened me, I'm not a college kid. And so therefore, when they go, hey, if you don't do what I want, then it's going to be war forever. And I said, okay. And we've been at war ever since, and there isn't a Russian alive in the kingdom now. It's really going to suck when your first negotiation tack to me is threats, and you're going to find out I don't respond well to them. It's not an opposition to authority because they weren't the authority. I am just no longer going to tolerate anybody who's going to be sneaking off into the middle of the night to kill somebody because they think they can steal something for free. The game needs to be adjusted in many ways. The first 2 months are epically boring. And an article that we put up over on RogersRaiders.com, go there now, where I spelled out some simple rules for building a new kingdom. So, guys, we're going to talk about some of the rules that come out there. Top 20 nap. First of all, top 20 nap means top 20 people can't hit anybody else. It does not mean the top 20 guys can feed on anybody that doesn't know how to play the game. Anybody that tells you that's what it meant, they're a liar. Don't allow them to be in R5. Don't allow them to be in your room. Don't give them a vote. Don't give them a say. Just stop acknowledging liars and thieves have equal say and rights. Just gang up and burn them. Understand what you're seeing when you're seeing it. No, you don't want that around you. All right. Why are there girls in bikinis on the front of my webpage? Oh, that's an ad. Okay. I'm getting more women players, so the advertisers are targeting more women. They see the same statistics I do. The number of women players, especially in the Kingdom 533 project, has been 400% higher. The leader of the number one alliance is a school teacher, Chels. I had it out with her the first day. I said, look, this ain't going to work. And I said, I'm stopping the language problem. And she's like, who are you? And well, I'm just going to do it. And I'm not going to ask to do it. I'm not asked for favors for it. We're just going to do it. So we got setting up a new kingdom for the long term. All right. And I posted these little simple rules. And we'll add this maybe, but it won't get complicated. Notice no sentence here is more than a few words. I don't have to turn around and say, well, it's NAP for them and it's not NAP for us, and respect your allies and check with your R5s and do this. Everybody in the kingdom knows what the kingdom's rules are because they're simple. They can be translated in any language. Scouts are an equal to attack. You can't peek inside somebody's castle. It's trespassing. Okay? You do so, it's an act of war. No allies. Open field combat. What that means is, if you are away from your hive, you are engaging in kingdom combat, regardless of allies, unless your alliance has a no-hit list. Not a NAP policy, because NAP means 100 different things to the 100 different people who came from 100 different kingdoms. You cannot reuse a word that had no meaning to all when you did it. So I'm telling everybody, use the word no hit on alliance, blah, blah. So if somebody hits your alliance from blah, blah, well, that no hit rule doesn't apply anymore because the guy got violated. What you shouldn't be doing is, but it's also not an act of war by the entire alliance. The whole purpose of these rules is individual responsibility. If somebody gets hit by the alliance that you got a no hit rule on, then the alliance you got a no hit rule with either has a problem with their leadership or they got a single rogue player. If they got a problem with their leadership, and usually the first sign of a problem with that leadership is, I'll talk to him, and then the guy does it again 3 days later, and he says, I don't know what's going on, I'll talk to him again. That's not leadership. Another sign of leadership problems is if the guy that hit somebody randomly was a brand spanking new player and did not know he couldn't hit people, does not know where the board is. And if you're yelling in your own AC chat, didn't you read the board? Did you tell him where the board was? Failure on your part as a leader, just so you know. No hive hunting. In other words, I don't allow any, and that's more of an in-alliance rule for me, but it's one I'd like to see as a standard. You don't go to a hive to engage in combat with someone that's going to test your skills. You go to a hive to burn everything smaller than you at the least amount of cost to you and steal as much RSS as you can possibly steal. That's hive hunting. It's also running the people off that are going to be playing with you in 2 months before they ever get a chance to learn, before they get a chance to enjoy the game that they may or may not learn. You know, or quite frankly, some people may say, no, this sucks. Who wants my castle? Imagine all the free farms you could be getting if you weren't such a dickhead burning their damn hives. Oh, just imagine. I think the farming thing is, I still encourage it at this point, but I think it's on its deathbed. No lawyer logic. That means exactly what it says. Things like, we don't attack tagged players in this kingdom. Well, we just created a law, and that allows somebody to lawyer it. I drop my hive. I drop from my alliance. I create a new alliance in 2 seconds for 200 gold. I have tags on. You're not allowed to attack me while I set up to randomly attack you in the middle of the night. Dropping tags, tacking, and then I swap back to my original alliance when it's over. Oh, well, he wasn't in my alliance when he did it. Another sign of piss poor leadership. It's also an indication of what conversation took place that you couldn't hear. If they dropped tags, hit somebody, came back, they planned it. Treat them like they planned it. Beat them into the earth because they planned it. And then what you'll find out is, of the 50 people in their alliance, 45 had no clue 5 people were scumbags. What's worse, they may find out that 5 people are the people in charge of the alliance. They're stubborn and they're not going nowhere. Those 45 people need to find a new home. And we've created that situation in 533. We got people reshuffling the deck. You've got to remember, in a new kingdom, it's random. The people in those alliances, just like Juggernaut was looking at, he doesn't know anybody in there. Not one person does he know in there. He doesn't know what they're like, doesn't know what they've been up to, doesn't know why they're in these little small broken alliances. He was 2 weeks into that kingdom, and there's alliances that are half full. That's because they're still splintering. So the rule of thumb we've come to the kingdom with is, don't think that there's any diplomacy with random people you don't know. Don't assign yourself to being loyal to a brand. Don't assign yourself to being loyal to a brand before you know what that brand stands for. And don't think that for the few moments that you're on, you know what's going on. So pay attention. We play as a team within a community. Not a rule, but a character. In other words, your alliance plays as a team. Your alliance does what you can have in alliance rules, as long as those rules do not affect the community. Can't be a rule that, yeah, well, our rule is go out and burn anybody we want to when we want to. Okay? It is what it is. Number one disgusting thing people do is tile hitting. That's how they get their numbers up early. Make everybody believe they know what they're doing. And almost everybody gets a foul of the word tile hitting because they like to turn around and set it as a hard, fast rule. This kingdom doesn't allow tile hitting. Well, the kingdom can't stop it. The kingdom can't condone tile hitting. But I can also tell you that when 2 alliances go to war, tile hitting is valid. The whole point to a war is to force the war to stop. You don't force a war to stop by having them go to KC, run their mouth, and do whatever they want to because you got kingdom rules that say don't hit my tiles. I can sit under bubble and farm all week, and then I'll come out from under bubble and attack you in the middle of the night when it's convenient for me. That's lawyering of the rules. Okay? Comes right back in there. So we play as a team within a community. We don't define special rules. We define the terms of the battle we're engaging. So what that means is, say one of my players is out in the open, away from our hive, and you catch him. You see him send his airship out. You click on his castle. Oh, that idiot doesn't have a lantern on the beacon. So he has no airship. I know my stats can beat him now. Jump him. My whole hive is not going to jump you. Now, I shouldn't say that again. While you're out in the open jumping him, be prepared to get caught. Okay? You better jump him and jump back to your hive. My guy was out there in open area in combat. He should know better. Be bubbled. Be prepared, or be at home. Be safe at home. And I probably should put that, safe at home. It defines some new rules of the kingdom. We've actually employed this during KE, and there's enough people who think they're slick and cheating and they're going to get around it, that chase is a race becomes the name of the game in the KE. We'll see how that goes. Kingdom 533, I've got plans for the King's Challenge. We're going to set up some videos on how to do kingly duties, how to pick kings, in my opinion on that one. Because to be honest, while it's an honor to be made king, because it's usually, people go, oh, it should be you. It's usually an R5. But what it winds up being is more work for the R5 on top of the work they're already doing. And it's better for the R5 to just pick somebody, doesn't even have to be in their alliance, that they think would do the kingdom well. Will show up, turn the buffs up on time, will answer mails, will help clean up dead castles if it's need be for anybody based on timers. There's people out there who would love to do the job. And it is a job. The free coining out of the King's Castle, can't do that during the first King's Challenge. There are no coins yet. And in the second King's Challenge, that's when our second set of buffs will be engaged for the events. After that will be our first KVK. So in Kingdom 533, we are going to set up to prepare, instead of killing ourselves in the King's Challenge for a throne battle, we're going to set up to prepare the whole kingdom to play well together for the first time when we are all going to take losses together. The very people right now, which is my alliance, taking losses, cleaning up the trash in the community, are probably going to be the ones that take the biggest losses during the first KVK. We know that. So we're going to get ours for those that are waiting for it to happen and want to taunt and say, look at, but I play the game. I know we lose troops, and that's why I'm building them now. It's what we do. Two things that we've done also. We have, if you are a member over on RogersRaiders.com and you join Kingdom 533, we will have a text list where we text you if there's a kingdom issue. Okay? Because I want all people involved. Guys, nobody's paying me for this. It costs me money. I've opened up England, France, Italy, and a bunch of the Western Bloc European nations for texting. I think I got Australia open now. I'll have to double check on that one. I have to do this. Ain't like texting with your phone. I got to make deals with the phone companies, and it costs me a lot of money. I got to pay VAT taxes, telephone taxes, whatever your country has, just to send a text. There's no such thing as an unlimited worldwide texting plan. It doesn't exist, especially for this type of communication. So the point here is we're building up a community, and I'm hoping to set a standard for how to build the community again better in the future. So when people go to the next kingdom, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, or you're just 2 months out and you say, well, we want to copy what they're doing over there. We give you a blueprint. We're going to give you videos. I'm actually going to try and do some of the tactical KVK stuff in multiple languages. Epic challenge. I don't even know how I'm going to accomplish it yet. As I say, I'm going to do it. I don't know. Have no clue. We'll figure it out as I go. But I've got an Italian alliance that doesn't have an English speaker in it. And they're growing well, but they actually don't know how to play the game. They haven't even built their fort. So while they're C20s, lots of them, good power. So they're buying and playing the game, but they don't even know what's coming yet. So I don't want them to be caught off guard by it. And there's got to be these problems in every single kingdom. I know these problems are in every kingdom. And I tried to do articles in multiple languages years ago. It's too much of a mess. You really need multiple sites, not multiple languages on a site. That lazy method was a failure. I undid it. It took me 6 months to clean the mess up. So this is where we are. I'm hoping you guys want to come over to Kingdom 533 and see the new way of getting it done. We have lots of alliances that are recruiting players. Go into the KC chat, but you've got to be warned. There are trolls recruiting players too. So you need to be smart enough to know who they're trolling. And if they're trolling, there's probably a reason why. And go find a new home. Quietly slink off or just tell them F off boldly, whatever you think you need to do. But there's more than enough players around there, and we're not leaving anybody behind. So not everybody can play at the same level. People spend money, some people don't. But we've got the gambit from free players to intermediate coiners. Me being an intermediate coiner. We don't have any breakout coiners, which I'm glad of. It's my thought that the breakout coiners kind of tear the kingdom apart before you know what the hell happened. I've taken a do not leave anybody behind approach in my own alliance. I think I got a couple people already passing me on stats. Well, hell, I know I got at least 6 people that have passed me on stats. But that's to be expected, and I don't care. I'm glad they're doing it. It's their game, their time, their way of playing. As long as they're playing within the rules and everybody is, we're happy with it. So thank you very much.